rested. I hope you enjoy yourself, enjoy your time with the family. And I want to welcome you again to Mindset Monday. And who's ready for 2021? I mean, it's right around the corner, right? So we're super excited about things that are coming, that are ahead of us, that we're looking forward to. But to be able to look forward to a more to a good 2021, we want to help you, right? It's time to figure out your goals and how can you tackle them systematically for a true success as an agent. And that's what we're gonna break down today. Actually, today, and for Mindset Monday, we're gonna talk or cover the following. We're gonna talk about how to establish your goals, how to break down the year, projecting 3 to 5 years out, projecting 15 to 20 years out, and also understanding reverse goal engineering. This is very important, so please pay close attention to that one specifically because it's gonna help you out setting up the right path to reaching out your goals. So let's talk a little bit about establishing your goals. Before I do that, let me look here. Great, nobody else is waiting to log in, right? All right, so let's talk about establishing your goals. I mean, it's almost 2021. So now is the time to set your goals for the new year. You also need to break down into smaller chunks, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, if you have to. We all know this is the only way to stick to a game plan and not feeling overwhelmed. Of course, you can also zoom out a little bit farther than a year and think about the next 3 years out or even 5 years. And if we're talking retirement and financial health, you also need to consider 20 years down the line. So it's very important to always look ahead. Look what are your accomplishments? What are the things that you need to get done throughout this time? And now before we actually hit January 1st, you want to sit down and write everything down, put it down in paper. So let's start with a 1 year plan. So consider where you were 12 months ago and where you want to be in the next 12 months. What did you accomplish in the last year or this year rather? And what do you believe that you can accomplish in the new year coming up? Right? So, but be very careful not to overload your year-long plan. There's a well-known adage that claims that people often overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year's time, but tend to underestimate what can actually happen in several years. It's a popular quote because it's very, very true. So it's really easy to think ambitious thoughts such as, oh, we're gonna go and double or triple our business in the next 12 months. Then when you really get into the rhythm of trying to accomplish that goal, it becomes apparent that it's more than a long game and not something that's gonna happen instant. So be realistic about what you can actually happen or what can actually happen in 1 year. So first, when you're thinking about a yearly plan, you got to reward your efforts from the last few years. For me personally, I look at what I did in the past and how much changed between 5 years ago until today. Everything that I was able to accomplish and put together in the last 5 years, and reward that. Looking at historical data about what you have done, it's one of the best ways to figure out what you can realistically achieve in the next 12 months. Again, when we talk about this, you got to remember, you got to be modest. Understand that you'll likely hit roadblocks and experience setbacks. Things don't always go as planned. Just think about everything that happened in 2020 this year. I'm pretty sure in 2019, at the end of it, you had goals, you had everything written down, you're ready to go, and then we had a global pandemic. Totally unexpected, right? So there's always going to be some roadblocks, some setbacks, but and things don't go exactly as we plan. But don't undershoot your goals. But if you're really unrealistic, you're going to set yourself up for disappointments and feeling like a failure, which is not good for anything. It's not good for morale. So try to be realistic, but push the boundaries a little bit. For example, if you have grown 20% to 50% in revenue year over year for multiple years, 50% revenue growth is reasonable based on your historical data and how hard you want to work in the next 12 months. You have something to fall back on. You have something that you have already tested. So setting up expectation, at the same time, you're pushing up some boundaries. So this is something good that you can take note of. But how about breaking it down? The easiest way to tackle your yearly goals is to break them down into quarterly goals. That's how I typically like to do it and follow up on those goals. Then break down even further from quarterly to monthly, from monthly to weekly, and from weekly to daily. Take a 1 year financial goal, figure out what that is, figure out how many homes you need to sell to meet it, and break that down into daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly activities that will ensure that you actually do it and you actually reach those goals. Again, don't forget to be honest with yourself about how hard you want to work, how many vacations you want to take, and what's coming up for you and your personal life. Goals are super exciting, yet they could be frustrating at the same time because it could be easily overshoot. So again, go back on your historical data, figure it out what you have done, what you have accomplished, and then based on that, you can set some realistic goals for yourself. But how about instead of just doing a 1 year goal, now you set up a 3 year to a 5 year out, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about 3 to 5 years out. Pick a number that makes sense to you. What can you get done, and how are you actually going to go about achieving it? If you've been doubling business every year for the last several years, can you maintain that amount of work? Because obstacles might come and go, and it's easy to say, oh, we're gonna go 10 times the size, so we're gonna 10x the size that we are now. But is that realistic? If you're selling real estate, maybe your goal is to sell more of it. Setting yourself up for retirement or investing in real estate yourself, or perhaps saving for a 401k or a Roth IRA account. Whatever your aspirations happen to be, you got to set those goals and figure out the right plan for them. The plan should be a continuation of the smaller plan. In other words, what you do day by day should translate into what you do year by year to keep the goals moving forward. So that's why we look at not just a 1 year plan, but what's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. Now, how about 15 to 20 years out, right? Let's talk about now retirement. And let's talk a little about longer terms, 15, 20 years. So depending upon your age and where you want to, when you want to retire, you can adjust your long-term plan. And this is all based on your personal financial goals as well, how far along you are in your career. Maybe you're aiming for a full retirement in that amount of time. Maybe it's having half of your retirement saved if you're younger and working your butt off. So of course, again, be realistic. Don't make tons of money and spend it only to have hard times or a broken down car or a changed market, say you're back and put you in debt. Again, take into consideration what happened again this year. Since, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, we were not expecting for a global pandemic to hit, right? We were not ready for that. So that means when you're setting out your goals, you got to leave some room for the unexpected. What if something were to happen? How am I how am I going to be financially? Am I going to be able to sustain any wave that might come at me? Because you're going to hear it from all ends. Oh, the market's going to collapse, or this is going to happen, and whatever it is. What is your financial situation? Because I've said this many times, control what you can control. And that is you, your goals, your mindset. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about today is about understanding reverse engineering. So to figure it out whether you're serious about your goal, you can try this technique, which I love, and that's called reverse goal engineering. If I have a goal, I first determine the steps I need to take to actually reach that goal. For example, I've had this goal many times of getting six packs, right? But it's really a steep goal. I will have to not only work out aggressively and go through a lot of pain to achieve this, but I will also have to eat right. So I don't have excess body fat. But to be honest, I haven't achieved that goal since I was a teenager. And every time I sit down and count the cost, I question if I'm really willing to go through that pain. So ask yourself, are you willing to do it? What will it take, right? These personal goals could be in relation to health or wealth or relationship, but the question is always the same: how much pain or cost will it take to get it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? So be honest with yourself about what's going to take for you. And if you're not familiar with what is going to take, instead of immediately going out and posting on Facebook or telling all your friends or family members that you're going to hit the goal, first do the research and count the cost. If you're not willing to do the work, maybe it's better not to set yourself up for disappointment. We all only have so much time in our hands, energy, and money to achieve the goals that we really want. But let me further illustrate this. Think about when you go to the grocery store. Well, while you're hungry, that's the worst time ever to go to the grocery store, right? When you're hungry, and your eyes are, you start buying because your eyes are bigger than your stomach. So when I go to the grocery store and I'm hungry, I want to buy everything, the snacks, the cookies, this, that. So by the time I bring everything home, half of it goes bad and gets wasted or gets stale before I eat it because I was thinking with my eyes while my stomach cannot actually put all that food away. Hence, not getting the six pack. Obviously, we're all different and we're all going to have different goals in life. So it really comes down to you and your personal desires, which is why I keep saying, is it worth it to you? Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you being honest with yourself? Count the cost, reverse engineering the goals, and see if it all makes sense to you. Remember that nothing worth having comes easy in life. You have to put in the work. You have to do whatever it takes. Whatever you plan, whatever your plan is to execute your goals for the new year, break it down into bite-sized steps and then figure out what you actually need to do per week, per day. So this is a part one of a goal planning setting that I have for you. Part two will be recorded and it will be sent out to you guys as a thank you for joining us, and it will be a continuation of this. Actually, part two, it has to do with tackling and adjusting for your goal. That way, it's a good follow up to this training that we had today. So I want to thank you for joining Mindset Monday. So again, I'm gonna send you guys the part two of it. It will be recorded. It will be sent out to you. You can watch it at any time. In fact, this one it's being recorded as well as we speak. So if you want to go back and see this again and take some additional notes, make sure you reach out to me, Dailan at brokernation.net, or Ray at brokernation.net, or Steve. Everybody knows Steve at brokernation.net. So feel free to reach out to them, send them an email, request the recordings. If not, part two will be sent out to everybody before the end of the week. Okay. We have a few announcements, guys. Number one is, so Chime, all of you that have Chime, we have 3 more days before this year is over. Counting today will be 4 days. So if you don't have a domain yet that you want that domain to be assigned to your Chime account, we strongly should suggest that you do get that domain set up. Talk to Steve, because moving forward, January 1st, this is Chime is going to charge for that. And for what Steve was telling me, it's kind of pricey. So you want to take advantage of this free provision that Chime is giving us. So it will be over by December 31st. So make sure you do get that if you really want to have a domain set up for your Chime account. And the second announcement we have is that Steve is having a training on Chime tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. And that's titled 2021 Realtor Marketing Plan. So we set this one up specifically to go hand to hand with your goal setting or your goal planning for 2021. So make sure you log in for that, register. You can go to www.brokernation.events. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you guys to, if you want to go in there and register. So this is the last, it will be the last training of the year. So we strongly suggest that you take advantage of it, okay? Let me go ahead and post it. All right, so there's the link to register for the Realtor 2021 Realtor Marketing Plan. Guys, it's really important that you focus on setting your next 12 month the right way. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen. We know what we have endured this year. We know what we came from. You know what we did. You know what things that we accomplished, the things that we couldn't accomplish. So moving forward, we want to take control of as many things that we possibly can. And to begin, it's having the right mindset. And that's why we put this training together. And we've been doing it since March. And you guys have been following, and we thank you for that. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for sticking all the way to the end. This is the last Mindset Monday for 2020. And we look forward to providing more content, more information, helping out, moving forward, helping you out with tackling your goals, adjusting it. And once you watch part 2 of this training, you will see why it's important to track and adjust your goals. And that's because anything could change or anything could happen at any given moment, right? We're not exempt of that. So it's very important for you to stay engaged with what we're doing as a company, but stay engaged with us as we continue on this training and helping you grow your business. All right, with that said, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful Monday. Have a great week. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Register for the next training, which will be tomorrow at 10:30. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Bye, Esther. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thanks for everything.
Bye. Have a great week.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Bye,
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.